Hello, my dear students, in our first lesson of the course, SAT Math, and we will start by exploring some ideas about Desmos, how to use Desmos in algebra. The first lesson is basic equation solving, and where we can use Desmos to solve some complex questions or equations, and also we can use the manual methods and the easy ones. Question number one, a mobile app developer earns 14 cents in revenue for every download of a new app. The app's daily server cost is 120 cents, but this cost decreases by 1 cent for every download. The equation shown presents the number of downloads X needed for the daily revenue to equal the daily server cost. This is the equation given here. And if you have the equation given, you do not need to worry about the information you can obtain from the reading of this passage. So just focus on the sentence that comes after the equation. What is the value of X? What value of X is the solution to the given equation? So you can just write it on Desmos. You can easily also answer it using the manual method by moving the X to the other side, or you can write them on Desmos like this. Make the square brackets like these. Make a pair of square brackets. You can also use the regular calculator, but I prefer to use Desmos in this kind of questions. Make the square brackets like these, get inside in the middle of them, and write this sign, which is tilde, as you can see here. And in the left side, you need to write the left side of the equation, which is 14x. But 14x should not be written as this, 14x. It should be written as 14x1. Just write x and then press 1, and the 1 becomes subscribed below the x. And then go to the right side and write 120 minus x, just write 120 minus x1. And then the value of x1 is equal to 8, which makes the answer 8. Question number 2, we have an equation written here, and the question says, a digital artist has P followers on a social media platform. After gaining 75 new followers today, the artist has a total of 1,200 followers. As shown in the equation above, what is the value of P? So no need to worry about reading all of this. We have an equation and we need to get the P. So we can remove this part, can empty this part as well, and write P plus 75. Any letter other than X and Y, just write them as they are. X and Y only should be written as X1 and Y1. In the right side, we write 1,200, and because we need the value of P at the question asks here, so P is equal to 1,125, which is option B. Question number 3. A social media platform uses a point system to track post engagement. The total engagement points for a specific post is given by the expression for X plus 16, where X represents the number of shares. If the total engagement points for the post is 56, what is the value of X plus 4? Here, the 56 should be the total. And here we need to know that the total is given for all of that. So all of this give a total of 56, which makes this expression or transfers this expression into an equation. So you can write 4X plus 16 is equal to 56 because this is the total. And the total means that the expression that contains a positive sign between the two terms. So this is our equation right here. And we do not need to get the value of X only. We need to get X plus 4. So we can write them here on Desmos. Just remove the left part and write this expression for X plus 16. For X plus 16. And in the right side, we just write 56. But you need to write x1 always, not x. And x is equal to 10, but we do not need to choose 10. Choosing 10 is incorrect because you need x1 plus 4. So you can write down here x1 plus 4, which is our answer to be 14, letter B. Number 4, one of the easy questions also. 2x plus 5 is equal to 19. What is the value of x is the solution? What value of X is the solution to this equation? We just write 2x1 plus 5, and in the right side, we just write 19. And we need to get the value of x1, which is given here as 7. That's how to use Desmos to save too much time. Question number 5. For a school fundraiser, the cost to produce n customized water bottles is given by the expression 7n plus 36, and the total revenue from selling the water bottles is given by the expression 11n. So this is called what? The first part here is the cost. The cost is this, and the revenue is this. For what value of n will the cost and the revenue be equal? Equal means this expression here is equal to this one. So we can write them in the left and in the right sides of the square brackets here of the equation here. So we can write 7n plus 36, and in the right side 11n. And now we get the value of n, which is equal to 9, and the question asks for the value of n. So choose 9, letter C. Question 6. A catering company is preparing a total of 180 appetizers for an event. The number of cheese puffs C that they prepare satisfies this equation here. And what value of C is the solution? So we need to solve this one. So we just write 11C in the left side, 11C, and in the right side we need to write 180 minus C, and then you get the value of C, which is the solution to the equation, 15. Saving too much time. Question number 7. We have an expression here that contains k plus 8 over 3 and k plus 8 over 5. The value k minus 8. K minus 8 is between which of the following pairs of solutions. So you can get the value of k and then compare, and then see where k lies. Is it between -6 and -4, or -2 and 2, and so on? So we can write the left side of the equation, k minus 8 over 3. But if you just write k minus 8 and then make the slash or the division to be 3, this is not correct. You did not write it correctly. You have to keep the k and 8 up. So how can we do that? We need to consider making the open and closed pair of parentheses like this, and write k minus 8, and then once you get outside and make the slash of division, you go down and then write 3. Of course, I'm talking about using your keyboard. And then in the right side, we need to keep the same thing. Write k minus 8, and slash to go down, or the division sign, and write 5. Once you do that, you get the value of k, which is 8. But don't go to choose 8, which is between 7 and 9, because the question says find k minus 8. So we can just write k minus 8, which is of course 0. And where does the 0 lie? Is it between -6 and -4? Of course not. The 0 is always between a negative and a positive number, which makes B the correct answer. Question number 8. A coffee shop sells bags of premium beans for 14 each. The shop earned a total of 448 from these sales, which can be represented by the equation below, as you can see. What the value of B? Here it's of course easy to divide, but maybe the numbers are that can be done but using the regular calculator. But this make it also on Desmos 14p. For a matter of practicing, for a purpose of practicing, 448. And then p is equal to 32, just choose 32, simply letter A. Question number 9. A bamboo shoot grow 12 centimeters overnight to reach a total height of 60 centimeters. The equation below represents the situation where h is the initial height of the bamboo shoot n centimeters. So here we have the equation and we need to get the value of h. Of course, it's easy to move the 12 to the other side. 60 minus 12 is equal to 48. You can also write it on Desmos if the numbers are harder than this. So h plus 12 in the left side, and the right side we write 60, and we get the answer of 48. The last question of the easy part is number 10. A student is saving money for a new video game that costs 100. The student has 25 already and saved $15 each week for X weeks. The equation below represents the situation. We have an equation here, and which equation had the same solution to this given equation. In this kind of questions, we do not need to get the value of X. we need 15x, as you can see in the options. 15x is required. So no need to get the x itself. Just move the 25 and substitute and subtract. I mean, 15x is staying in the left side, and 100 minus 25 is equal to 75. And don't continue. Don't proceed more than this. Don't make any steps further. You have to stop here because 15x is equal to 75 is already given here in letter C. You can also use Desmos for a matter of practicing. You can just write 15x plus 25, and here we write 100. But x, of course, should be written as x1. Once you finish that, you get x is equal to 5, but we do not stop at x. We need 15x to be equals what? As the given equations talk about 15x. So you can just write 15x, but of course here write 15x1 because that function does not know the meaning of x. It knows everything about x1, but nothing about x. 75 is the answer or the result of 15x, which gives the letter C the correct option. And from question number 11 to number 20, they are medium level, and where sometimes we need to write the equation without having it. You have to write the equation and then ask Desmos to help you solve it. But writing the equation maybe is the challenging part. Question number 11 says a customer's monthly bill for a cloud-based storage service includes a base fee of $6 plus a charge of 0.05 per gigabyte of storage used. If the user's total monthly bill was $28.50, what was the total number of gigabytes of storage they used that month? So we need to remember that when we have the word pair and then a total, it mostly talks about the linear equation written in the slope-intercept form, y is equal to mx plus b, where b is the fixed fee or the base fee, which is equal to 6.00 can be represented as 6. And m is the number that's associated with the word pair. So pair 0.05. This is the m, the slope, 0.05, and then we write x. The y is always the total. So the total monthly bill for this month is 28.5 or 0.50. Just write this on Desmos. Remember to write x1 instead of this x, and you can get the answer. Of course, the left side on equal sign, the equal sign has two sides, right and left. The left side should be written in the first square brackets, and the second one will be written as at the right of it. So here we write to 28.5, and in the right, we need to write 0.05 x1. Remember to write the 1 here, plus 6. And then the answer is 450, which is letter B. Question 12. The total cost C in dollars for a school club to order N customer t-shirts is given by the equation C is equal to 12.50 N plus D, where D is the one-time design fee. If the total cost for an order of 40 shirts is 580, what is the value of D? So we need to consider writing this equation as is on Desmos, and we need also to write the other pieces of information and add them to the square brackets. So we can write everything here, just clean this and this, and we start writing C in the left side. So we see here. In the right, we need to write 12.50 N plus D. And then we write the other information given. After the comma here, we need to remember that the 40 is the number of shirts, 40 shirts, and here N t-shirts. So N should be replaced by 40, or you can add N here in the left, and in the right we need to define it by 40. And then we have the 580. This is the total cost, which is C. So we can write C here again after the comma, write a capital C, because we started using the capital letter, and 580 in the right. Then we need to get the value of D, which is given here as 80. So 80 is the answer of this question. Number 13, a student council received a 20% discount on a bulk order of X custom t-shirts. The total price in dollars after the discount is given by the equation as given here. Which equation has the same solution for X as the given equation? It means that we need to modify this to make it something like this. We need to get the value of x. Maybe we can check then every one of these options. So just write this on Desmos, the left side and the right side. And when I say the left side, I mean everything at the left of this equal sign. So here we write 0.8. We need to remove everything here inside these square brackets and start in the left, writing 0.8 and then open and close the parentheses. 15x, just write x1, and then minus 10. And in the right, we need to write 100. And then we need to get the value of x. The x is equal to 9. But here we are not asked to get the value of x, but we can consider writing every one of these. And if the answer is given as 100, for example, we choose letter A. Let's check 12x minus 8, but you need to write 12x1 because the Desmos now does not know anything about x. It knows everything about x1 because it's already defined here. Minus 8. What is the result of this? It's 100, which makes letter A our correct answer. Number 14. A 3D printer requires 8 minutes to warm up before it begins printing. Once printing starts, it takes 0.4 minutes to print each layer of a plastic model. If the total time required to warm up and the print model with n layers is 76 minutes, what is the value of n? We need also to consider the slope-intercept form. Y is equal to mx plus b, and b is the starting, which is the warming up stage, begins or starts with 8. So we replace b but with 8. And m is the pair. Look at this, each is the same as pair for 0.4. So 0.4 is replacing letter m. Keep the x because x here is n. So we can name it as n instead of x. Because here the n is the number of layers. And then the y is the total. The total print with n layers is 76. Total time is 76. We can write this on Desmos as well and start from the left. Write 76 equals, and once you see equals, you have to go to the right side. 0.4 n plus 8. And then the value of n as given here, as you can see, 170, which is letter B. Question 15. A social media manager creates posts each week for a client. The manager decides to add 2 extra behind the scene posts to the schedule every week. Over a period of 4 weeks, the manager also published 3 one-time special announcements. The total number of posts made over the 3 weeks is 31, which was represented by the following equation. We need to consider this equation instead of reading everything. But what was the original number of weekly posts? P. So we need to get the value of P the manager created. So you have to write this. Because we have only one letter here, so it's very simple. We can start writing 4 and open and close the pair of parentheses, P plus 2, and then after that we write plus 3. All of this in the left side, clean the right side, and write 31. And then the value of P is equal to 5, which is letter A. Number 16, we have a table. The table below shows the daily calorie data from a person following a specific fitness plan. This number is the estimated calorie burned per day, and this is calories from solid food, and this is the target daily calorie deficit. The person's daily diet consists of the calories from solid food and 3 identical protein shakes. So we have to start writing an equation for this part. The person's daily diet consists of calories from solid food. So the diet, let's say D, consists of what, which makes equal sign, calories from solid food, and the solid food is here, 1,500, and means plus 3 identical protein shakes, 3P, let's say P for protein shakes. The D is the diet. And then let's say the calorie deficit is defined as, so deficit is what? 300. The calorie deficit is 300. So 300 defined as means equal the number of calories burned, which is here 2,400, minus the total number of calories consumed, which is the dieting schedule, which is this one. So we write minus and then write everything here, which is 1,500 plus 3p. And then because this equation contains only the letter P, so we can get P using Desmos. And the question, of course, asks about the value of P. If the person meets their target daily calorie deficit, exactly how many calories are in each protein shake? Protein shake is, as we mentioned, letter P. So we can just write this on here and start on the left side, writing 300. And in the right side, we'll write 2,400 minus, and then open the parentheses, protecting everything from this negative sign. 1,500 plus 3p. And then the value of p is equal to 200, which is letter A. Question 17, we have this equation right here. And the question says at the end, find the value of x. So maybe you do not need to read this, because reading this maybe waste some time, because it's just an explanation of the equation. Just work with the last part. What is the value of x? So we need to get the value of x without reading all of that. So we can start cleaning all of this from the left and from the right, and start writing 3 into x plus 5. But you need to write x1, of course, plus 5, and then plus 2x1. Plus 2x1, everything before the equal sign should be written in the left, and 45 in the right. And then you get the value of x, which is equal to 6, letter A. That's how to use Desmos to save time. Question 18. A retail store uses 2 different loyalty programs to calculate bonus points based on a purchase of $P. Program A awards P minus 25 over 10 points, and program B awards P minus 25 over 15 points. If a customer receives the same number of points, of bonus points from both programs for a specific purchase, what is the value of P minus 25? So we need to consider this as this one as the left side, and this is the right side. Who are the same. They are the same because the word same here. So we remove everything here and here as well, and write the fraction bar. How can we write this in the fraction? How can we write P minus 25 over 10? You can just write P over 10. But where to put the 25? Go up and make minus 25. That's an easy way to write it. And in the right side, just write also, we write P minus 25 over 15. P over 15, and then go up and write minus 25 to set beside the P. Now we get the value of P, but we do not need the P. We need P minus 25. So we can just come here and write P minus 25, which gives an answer of 0. So 0 is our answer for this question. Question number 19. For a certain cloud-based storage plan, the number of gigabytes of storage S is related to the monthly cost by the equation. As you can see here, what is the value of S plus 12? You just write this on Desmos, and this is another line on Desmos. So we can remove everything here and here also, and write everything given. 4 into S minus, you can also delete this, S minus 8. After the pair of parentheses, write plus 24, and in the right, we need to write 120. After that, we need to get S plus 12. S plus 12 equals what? 44, so we can choose 44. Question 20. A local coffee shop starts the week with 12.5 kilograms of espresso beans. Each day for the next 8 days, the shop uses X kilograms of beans. After these 8 days, a delivery of 5.4 kilograms of beans arrives, bringing the total amount of beans on hand to 13.1. So we start with 12.5, and then we use. What the meaning of use? Use means minus. So as you can imagine, if we have a tank of gas, which is full, and the more you use the car or you drive the car, this amount of gas is used. Use means decreased. So here we need to consider y equals to mx plus b as our equation. But the m is negative because we use what here? If you look at this question, we used x kilograms of this for 8 days, which means y equals to negative 8x and then plus b. And b is the starting one. So y is equal to negative 8x plus 12.5. But then the delivery came with 5.4 kilograms of beans, which should be added here. And the total will be 13.1. So the total is y, 13.1, negative 8x plus 12.5, and then plus 5.4. That's how to write the equation. So we can write everything here. If you understand the equation, it's easier to write everything. So understanding is the most important thing, because 5.4 is added to the amount that remained. And then the total will be 13.1. So on the left side, we write 13.1. And in the right, we need to write negative 8x1 plus 12.5, and then plus 5.4 to get the value of x, which is equal to 0.6, letter A. And then we go to the hard ones. And this kind of questions, we need to make sure that we write everything accurately and be precise when writing this equation. A chemical engineer is calculating the required volume, V in liters, of a buffer solution to stabilize a reaction. The volume satisfies the equation shown above. What the value of V? So as you can see, the value of V is the only thing you need to read here. So just write this, the equal sign makes this tilde sign. So we have to write this in the left side and this part in the right side. So when you write the fraction bar, don't be afraid when writing the fraction. Just write the number, which is 1, and then slash, which makes a division. But here, start from the left, 1/3, 1/3, and then go to the right to move the cursor to the right of the fraction and open the pair of parentheses. Inside them, we write 2v minus 5, 2v minus 5, and outside just write 1 plus 1/4, and then another pair of parentheses, we write v plus 8. In the right side, we need to write 5/6, v, and then, v to be right at the right here, and then plus 1. And the value of v is equal to 8, so we have to choose letter B, saving too much time. Question number 22. A gardener has 40 kilograms of soil that contains 10% organic matter. To improve the soil quality, the gardener adds X kilograms of compost containing 60% organic matter if the resulting mixture contains 20% organic matter. What is the value of X? So we have a mixture, and the mixture makes two things added together. We need to add the first amount plus the second amount to get the mixture, which contains the two amounts. So let's talk about the first amount. First amount is 40 kilograms. 40. And this has a concentration of the organic matter, which is 10%. So just write 10% of the 40. And then the second part of this is X kilograms. So plus X kilograms, which has a concentration of 60%. So 60% of X. And then this gives us the mixture which contains 40 plus X, but the percentage of concentration is 20%. And then we get the value of X by writing this on Desmos. We need to remove all of this and write the 10%. How to write the 10%? Again, 10 and then write percent, P-E-R-C-E-N-T. And once you write the letter T, it's given like this. 40 plus 60% of X, but you have to write X1, of course, is equal to what? To the right side, we write 20% of what? Parentheses, and then 40 plus X1. Remember, X1 always written inside the pair of parentheses, so X1 is equal to 10, which is letter C. 23. A chemical engineer is calibrating two sensors that measure the nitrate concentration in a liquid sample. The output of a sensor A in millivolts is modeled by this function. where t is the time in seconds after the reaction begins. The output of sensor B in millivolts is modeled by the function g. For what value of t do both sensors produce the same output? Same means this is equal to this, or f is equal to g. You can write f and g, write them the same, including f and g, but you can make it simple by writing this equals to this without mentioning f or g. So we can write this on Desmos as well. We move everything here and here also. And in the left side, we write 2 over 3 into t plus 15. T plus 15. And in the right, we write 1 over 2 into t minus 4. And we do not forget to write plus 16 outside. And the value of t is equal to 24, which is letter C. Question 24. A game developer is balancing character stats for a new role-playing game. A warrior character has a base power level of P. Let's make it warrior has a power level of P. And then a Meg character has a power level equals, and this is Meg has a power level equals what? 3 times what? The sum means you need to write plus sign between the parentheses like this inside the parentheses. Sum 3 times the sum of what? Warrior power level and 12. Warrior, which is W, and then 12. That's the second equation here. And then the healer, a healer H has a power level equal to half the difference, and the difference means minus. The difference between the Meg, which is M, and 10, right 10. This is the third equation. And then if the sum means plus, the sum of what? Power levels of one warrior, W, and 2 healers, 2H, you have to write 2H, is equal to what? 146. What makes this question hard is that it contains 4 equations. But once you write the equations correctly, once you know how to write the equations precisely, you can stop here and Desmos will do the rest of the task. Here we have 4 equations, as you can see. We can start writing the left side of the equation. I mean all of these, including this one. So here, look at this. I will write everything at the end, before the equal sign. So we can write W. You can make them all small letters. W, comma, M, comma, H, comma, W. And then, sorry, not W only. You have to write W plus 2H. Plus 2H. Because this is the left side of the equation. And the right side, we need also to keep the same order. P, in the right here, we'll write P, comma, 3 into W plus 12, comma, half into M minus 10, M minus 10, and then 146 at the end, 146. And we are searching for the letter P, and P here is given in the question as 30. So the answer is 30, which is letter P. 25. A software developer is comparing 2 cloud computing services for a data processing task. The total cost C in dollars for using service A is given by the expression, that's A. And the total cost C in dollars for using service B is this equation here, in this expression, where H is the number of processing hours. If the cost of both services is the same for a specific number of hours, the same means this one is equal to this one, find the value of H. The harder part of this is just reading. You need to read them well and focus on the keywords like the same and H, which is the number of hours. Just write everything as you can see on Desmos and make them equal. I mean, the left side contains this part, the first part, and the right side contains the other part. remove everything. And here we write half, open the pair of parentheses, write 3h plus 14 and plus, still we are still on the left side, 2 over 3h. And that's it for the left side. And the right side, we need to write 5 over 6, 2h plus 36. That's only the answer, the equation. And then h is equal to 46, as you can see in the left here. So 46 is our answer of this question. This is the number of hours. Question 26. In a laboratory experiment, the change in temperature in degrees Celsius of a chemical solution is modeled by the equation below, where m is the mass of the solute in grams. What value of m is the solution? It means write this on Desmos and get the value of m. Easily, we remove everything here and write 7 over 3 like this, 7/3, go to the right and start on the line writing m plus 3 over 2. Minus, you are still in the left side, minus 10 over 3. Open the pair of parentheses again, write m plus 3 over 2 again, 3 over 2 one more time, and then go to the right and write negative 5. And then the value of m is equal to 3.5, which gives the C, the right option. Question 27. In the equation, K is a constant. If the equation has no solution, what is the value of K? Here we need to remember something in the equation. When the equation has no solution, it means that if the equation is written like this, AX plus B is equal to CX plus D. No solution means A is equal to C. I mean, the coefficient of X in the left is the same as the coefficient of X in the right. So A must be equal to C. What is A here? A is any number multiplied by X. So we have to multiply this half. So we have half K X. So we need to remove this x. I need only the coefficient of x, which is half k. This doesn't have anything to do with x. And in the right side, we have 3x plus x, which is 4x. So half k is equal to 4. Half k is the coefficient of x in the left, and 3 and 1, which it makes 4, is the coefficient of x in the right. So half k is equal to 4, so k is equal to 8. Maybe you can write it here. It's very simple, but you can also consider writing everything on Desmos, because maybe later on we have difficult numbers. But here it's half k, 1 over 2 k, and in the right we need to write 4, and the answer is 8. So 8 is the value of k, which is required in this question. 28. The remaining power P in watt hours, WH, of a high altitude drone's battery after T minutes of flight is modeled by the equation. P is equal to E minus M into T plus K, where E is the initial energy in WH, M is the constant discharge rate in WH minutes, and K is the time in minutes used for pre-flight system checks. For a specific mission, the initial energy, E, is 450. Pre-flight check time, K, is 12 minutes. And the discharge rate, M, is 2.5 WH per minute. If the drone must land when exactly 10% of its initial energy remains. Remains means the P, because the question says the remaining power P, so the remain is P. So we can say P is equal to 10% of the initial, and the initial is E. The question says here, E is the initial energy, so this is E. How can we write all of this information on Desmos? First of all, we start with this. So we can write the first equation as given, exactly the same. P, and P, no problem if you write it small or capital, but when it comes to E, be very careful. You cannot write small e, because small e is defined as the base of the logarithmic, the natural logarithm. So we cannot write small e. You have to keep it capital E. Only E. Minus M into T plus K. This is our first equation. How can we write all these information? Just write comma and then write everything. E is 450, as you see here. So write E capital is equal to, go to the right, write 450. And then make another comma to add more information. And we have K is 12. So write K in the left, go to the right and write comma with 12. And then we have M is 2.5. Go to the left, comma, M, and the right, we add 2.5. And then the last part is this. You need to remember that the P, which is the remaining power, is 10% of the initial, which 10% of E. So we write here another comma and write P. In the left side, in the right side here, we add 10% of E. How to write 10%? Just write 10 and then percent P-E-R-C-E-N-T, and it gives you off. Write letter E. Once you've done with this, everything is clear. We need to get the value of T. And T, as you can see here, is 150, which makes letter A our correct option. Number 29, an environmental engineer is testing two filtration methods in a chamber containing a fixed volume of V cubic meters of air. The air contains a uniform concentration of 2 grams of particulates per cubic meter. So the cubic meters is V, but we have 2 grams per cubic meter, which means 2V. So every one here is 2V. Method A has a removing amount of 5/8 of this 2V. And 7/12 in method B multiplied by 2V. Because we have to remove. The table shows the removing part, which says here, the table below shows the fraction of the total particulate mass that each method removes from the chamber. Remove from what? From the 2V. So this 5/18, it should be 5/18 of what? Of 2V, and so on. If method B removes 220 more grams of particulates than method A, method B removes, because this talks about removing, so no need to consider any minus, any subtraction, just write equal. 220 more means 220 plus method A. And B is this times 2V. Sorry, this is A. And this is B times also 2V. So we can write all this information here also. Start from the left, remove that. We remove everything here. And in the left, we write B. In the right, we need to write 220 plus A. And to the left, we need to write A is what? In the table, A is 5/18 of 2V. 5, and the question says find the value of V, by the way, so we need to get V. A gives 5 over what? 5/18 of the 2V. 2V. And what about B? B removes 7/12, 7/12 of 2V as well. And then the value of V is equal to 360, as you can see here. So that's our answer. And then comes the last question, number 30. A data analyst uses 2 different linear models to predict the number of new subscribers for a mobile app and weeks after its launch. Model A predicts that the number of new subscribers will be this. This is model A. And model B predicts that the number of new subscribers will be this. So that's A and that's B. If model A predicts 24 more subscribers than B for the same week, what is the value of N? So we need to write A is this, B is this, and we consider this equation. So we can come in the first part. Just remove everything here. Keep the square brackets. And then we start writing A. And A is equal to what? 7/8 into N plus 15. N plus 15, and that is A. And then go to the right B after the comma. B is equal to 2/3 of n plus 15 as well. N plus 15. Then we need to consider writing this equation. A predict 25 more than B. So we can come here and write A after the comma. A makes 25 more means 25 plus B. That's it. And then the value of A of A is equal of n. We need to get the value of n, and n here is equal to 105, which makes our answer letter A. I hope you understand this, and maybe the other video is coming soon. Wait for this and keep subscribing, and then I will see you in the next video. Thank you very much, and see you later. Bye.